All right, welcome to the MoneyShift YouTube channel. I am your host, Thanasi, but before we begin, I need to address one thing. 96% of you, I'll repeat, 96% of you that watched the last video have not subscribed to the channel. Now, those 4% of you, I'm your biggest fan. You guys rock, you're incredible, but those 96%, you guys still have time to earn my like. Anyway, I love you guys. I love all of you that are watching this video, but please consider hitting that subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel. So what are we doing here today? Well, we are located in a parking lot to talk about the Ford Maverick After Dark. No, get your minds out of the gutter. Not that kind of After Dark. It's a bit different. Now, a lot of folks haven't even seen the Ford Maverick on the road, so they don't know what to expect when it comes to lighting. So one of the things that we're going to talk about today is we're going to do a couple of walkarounds of the Ford Maverick After Dark. We're going to showcase what the car looks like illuminated with just the remote start, what it looks like when it's in drive, outside, inside, the ambient lighting feature that some folks noticed in the last video. We are going to cover it all. And as a reminder, this is a Ford Maverick XLT. All right, let me give you the keys and let's head outside.
Hello everybody, it is winter in New England. You know what that means. We're going to hit that remote start. One button on the lock, two buttons on the remote start, and she fires right up. So presenting to you guys the first view of the Maverick After Dark, and that is what it looks like with just the remote start on. So looking at the front end, you will see that there are two lights illuminated. One is the hazard blinker light in the center, the second of which is the reflector in the corner. Now I think this light in particular does an incredible job at framing the front end of the Maverick and making it look just that little bit more rugged, which the Maverick can take in spades. Again, those probably my favorite light on the front end, honestly, are those two reflector lights in the corner. So let's make our way to the rear to see what the Ford Maverick looks like just under remote start conditions at the back. So the first thing that you'll notice is that the only thing that is illuminated are the rear tail lights and the license plate, which oddly enough has an LED. Now I know there's a lot of LED lighting in the front as well, but the Maverick mainly leverages halogen. So to see LEDs illuminate the license plate like that, pretty interesting, and I think it overall classes up the rear end. But as we zoom in here to these rear taillights, XL and XLT boys know the pain, but there is just pretty much halogen in here. This is just one big halogen boy, and if we compare it to the Lariat, you'll see that the Lariat has a character line there, a LED character line that sort of wraps around the taillight, which is nice. As we hit the unlock button, you'll see that the tailgate pretty much illuminates, and that is thanks to this third brake light turning on, as well as this bed light that again is optional, but standard if you get the luxury package. Now it overall does an okay job at illuminating the bed. There definitely is some blind spots, but that is easily fixed when it comes to the Maverick. As we make our way to the front, we're going to hit the unlock flasher a couple more times so you guys can see what it looks like. Very slow, long pulses of the hazard lights. Now the next thing we're going to do, phase two, if you will, is we're going to make our way to the inside of the Maverick. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to turn the hazards on. What this will do is it'll turn the low beams on and effectively give you the look of the Maverick as if it were driving, I think. So let's do it right now. Again, XL and XLT people know the pain. We have a key to start. None of that push button fanciness that you Lariat rich people get. No, I'm just kidding. Love the Lariat, but also love cracking jokes. Making our way to the front, we'll see the low beam fully illuminated, which is the bottom half of the Maverick light. If you want the top half of the Maverick light to illuminate, you gotta get the Lariat model truck, which has the signature LED at the top that illuminates as a daytime running light. Now, the next thing that you will notice, though, is that those orange reflectors seem to be on. We'll see if that stays on when the car is sort of effectively driving. But that is an interesting thing that we want to keep note. As we make our way to the rear, you'll notice again that the entire brake light to the Maverick also acts as the turn signal. So both the top and the bottom turn on and illuminate when this vehicle has a turn signal on. So let's make our way to the inside again. We're going to put it in drive and we're going to put the e-brake up, and this will effectively be what the car looks like as it is moving at the night time. So we're going to make our way to the front first to see if there's any difference here, and hopefully those reflectors stay on in the corners. Big fan of those lights. Hopefully Ford kept them on as it's driving, and sure enough, that is a yes. So as you are driving at night, those reflectors stay on, thank goodness, which is awesome. Also, something to note about the Ford Maverick headlights is if you opt for the Copilot 360, you get auto high beams, and they are literally the best auto high beams I've used. I've used Tesla ones, Hyundai ones, Genesis ones, whatever, but I never felt the need to adjust the Maverick ones. But let's make our way to the inside and touch on what the Maverick looks like in the inside as things get dark. So the first thing that we're going to touch on is how dark it does get inside the Maverick. There is no added lighting at the footwell. There really is nothing like that. What you see is what you get. Now I'm going to hit the brightness button here, and what you'll see is it adds steering wheel illumination, as well as controlling the center stack. So as we sort of cycle through the brightness here, you can see what it adjusts. Not only does it adjust the instrument cluster, but it adjusts the center stack, and it adjusts the buttons on the steering wheel and all the buttons in the center stack, which is nice. It gets very, very dark, and it gets medium bright. I wouldn't say that this melts your face off like you're sitting in front of a plasma television like some automobiles do, but it does just fine. Now, some folks on the last video noticed that the Maverick had an ambient lighting button, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. It's going to be very hard to tell, but effectively what the ambient lighting does is it tries to illuminate this tray. Now you'll see that even with max brightness on, this isn't that bright. I literally have to poke my hand back here for you guys to even see that there is a little blue light there that does its best to illuminate this tray. So the ambient lighting's sole job is really to showcase whatever you have put in this tray portion of the Ford Maverick. It's not like a Volkswagen Jetta or something like that that does a pretty good job at having ambient lighting that is configurable in the cabin, which, by the way, Ford also does with things like the Mustang. But no, we do not get that here in the Maverick, which is a bit of a bummer. But let's make our way to the rear seat where we can see how the Maverick looks in the back at night. The first thing you're going to notice is that with the dome light and map light on, there is plenty of light back here, but once they go away, there is nothing. There is no added light to help you see around, nothing to help you see the floor, none of that. You really do need the dome light and the map light to see anything back here. But as we make our way to the front, let's wrap up the Ford Maverick After Dark video, which is going to be the first of many coming this week.
Oh, well, hold on. Let me turn this light on here. Okay. That was your look at the Ford Maverick XLT After Dark. Now, I hope this video was helpful. You can really see the distinct differences between the Maverick XLT and the Maverick Lariat with the lighting at night. The Lariat Maverick has more like character lines in the taillight with that LED outline that the XLT is missing, and then in the front with the DRL, the signature DRL that the Lariat has. One of the things that I am most excited about for the aftermarket to tackle is the lighting on the Maverick. Given how much real estate you have to work with, there really is so many possibilities. So with that, guys, that's where we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate everyone. Drive safe and be safe, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.